Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time when school is slowing down for winter break and Christmas is coming, and all the children are so excited to finally have at least 2 weeks off for themselves to loaf around and watch movies all day or go out and smoke weed or something. I don't know. I don't know what kids do nowadays, but I like to binge watch a show every single break that I have. If it's summer, multiple shows, but usually winter, at least one, um, which is a lot for my family because we're always doing stuff. But I'm going to recommend a show and why you should watch it. It is called Golden Girls. If you've never heard of Golden Girls, it is a beautiful classic television show from the 1980s where these four older women live together in one house. And if that doesn't scream, watch me, I don't know what will. But here's the premise. So in 1985, this show premiered, and it started out where for just smack the mic. It starts out where these three girls live together, and two of them are widows. One of them is a divorcee, and the divorcee, her mom is a little crazy. She has a stroke that literally takes away her filter, so she says everything that comes to her mind, and so she is taken out of her home, and she comes to live with her daughter and her daughter's two roommates. And these girls are hysterical. It has Betty White. It has B. Arthur. It has Stell Getty, who plays Sophia, the mother of the divorcee, and it has Rue McClanahan. And all these women are fantastic. I mean, peak comedy for the 80s. And, it blows my mind how they could get away with some of the jokes they made and how they could get away with some of the stuff they said for that time. I mean, nowadays it'd be fine, but they were ahead of their time, and it just is a great show. I can't even stress how good it is. I got my brother to watch it and he loves it. I mean, these four broads are just everything. And these are the reasons why you should watch it if you don't already want to watch it. First of all, it has four old women in it who are at their prime. I mean, they are just they're living their lives. They're in their golden years, hence Golden Girls. But one of them has a very active sex life, and it's always the butt of jokes. And the other one is super dumb, and she used to live in a Minnesota small town in Minnesota called St. Olaf, and she has so many crazy stories that don't make any sense. And then of course there's one that is absolutely sarcastic and has the actress has such great range and just ability to act. It's so funny. And then the other one, it just says whatever the hell she wants to say, and it's just so perfect. I mean, it's things that you wish you could say out loud, and her facial reactions are just it's perfect. Perfect. If you want to binge watch a show, I highly recommend this show. It is on Hulu if you want to watch all 7 seasons. It premiered from 1985 and it ended in 1992, so there are some tough subjects in there. Um, they deal with stuff with the education system in America, because one of them is a substitute teacher. They deal with the Berlin Wall, the bringing down the Berlin Wall, which is a huge event in history. They deal with uh, gay rights, which is it was kind of non-existent in the 80s. I mean, people were starting to talk about it because of the AIDS crisis and everything. But they talk about that. They talk about life, different things. It is incredible how many subjects they cover and how well they cover them for that time. The writing in the show is incredible. I think It is Joss Whedon's dad. I forget his name, but Joss Whedon's dad was one of the writers for the show, and the writers are well gifted, and they don't throw away any, like, they don't put in easy jokes you could find, like, in Friends or something like that. No offense to Friends, but I love Friends. I think it's hysterical. But sometimes you have jokes in there that are they're not as funny. It's just like it's like a lot of other sitcoms that are shown nowadays. Like, they aren't good. The jokes in Golden Girls are well put together, and they are worth your while. Even though there's a laugh track and everything. I don't know if it was recorded in front of a live, I think it was recorded live, but even though it has that laughing in the background, and you do lose time on making more jokes, it still feels worthwhile. And I'm not for sitcoms a lot, and I get very iffy whenever someone recommends me a sitcom, but you need to watch this. This is peak comedy of the 80s. And it makes me so sad that this is not, cherished enough now. I mean, some people wear shirts with Golden Girls on it, and that's fine, but you actually need to watch it. Watch it and love it. I have like 2 Golden Girls shirts or something like that, or I forget. But I have one with Sophia. Sophia's my favorite. She is just perfect. Love her. She makes the episode. It doesn't matter who it's about, but it's amazing. But every single episode, they always make fun of Blanche. And Blanche is the one who gets around a lot. And I mean, she's like in her 60s, her husband is dead, and she's trying to find love and all that stuff, and it's great. And she is just living her life. And everybody makes fun of her, and it's so funny because, I mean, like, you shouldn't really joke about that stuff now, but it is really funny because of how they put it, and, like, they're all her friends, and they're all just, like, they have her best interest, but, like, it's so funny, the jokes that they make. Wow, I mean, so funny. And I think one of the best parts in this entire show is that it is about 4 women and their friendship together, and there's a lot of jokes about men and stuff like that, but it is them working it out together, and I think that's something that should be talked about more in shows, and that should be encouraged, and not in like a younger stance, but we don't see it in an older stance at all. Like, there's no shows nowadays that focus on this age range for women. It's non-existent. I think this might be the only show where that happens. I think the oldest people will do is like 30s, and I think this is very relatable in kind of some of the antics they have, like in a friendship wise. I mean, of course, they're like in their 60s, and one of them's divorced, and the other 2, their husbands died, so it's not really relatable to everybody, but it is still somewhat relatable to that demographic that don't get shown as much. And it's really refreshing, and it's so sad that it only happened in the 80s, and I think that it needs to be appreciated more. I mean, I know I said that like several times, but honestly, if you just try and watch it, it's on Hulu. You can easily watch it. It's 7 seasons, and I think it's around like 22, 23 episodes per season or something like that. It's very quick, very fun. Tons of great comedy in it. Some great actors who people will not know nowadays, except for Betty White, but those actors were huge for their time, and they were just so incredibly gifted, and I think that does not get appreciated enough, and I wish it did. These girls are just amazing. I mean, this show is so good that even the Queen of England loves it. She actually had them come over, and I think she had them do like a live taping for her or something like that, or did a live show for her. Like, that's how incredible this show was. So if it's good enough for the Queen of England, I think it's good enough for everyone out there. So I think you should watch it. But I'm done rambling. This show's incredible. Watch it over Christmas break. I promise you will not be disappointed. It's so funny, so refreshing, and like you could watch it at night, like if you before you go to bed. It's nothing heavy. Um, yeah, so highly recommend this show. Um, so that's it for the video. Like and subscribe this video if you liked it, and yeah, subscribe if you want to. It is free, so no charge to you. But yeah, if you want to talk about Golden Girls, you can talk about it in the comments. I love talking about Golden Girls. Any chance to talk about the girls, I will grab in an instant. But yeah, and if you want to see more videos like this where I talk about movies and books and writing and all that stuff, make sure you subscribe because that's awesome. Also, I have a Patreon if you want to check that out. I use that for posting these videos and also for posting my writing if you want to read some of my writing, which is fun, very fun. And don't forget to follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram, which is linked below. But yeah, make sure you come back soon. That was weird. I don't want to ever do that again. Okay, bye.